While the world is focused on the Ukraine war, there is another theater which is quietly heating up.
По укреплению статуса России как великой арктической державы.
Moscow's military reach continues to expand, building new bases in the Arctic Circle.
We are talking about the Arctic, where Russia is making deep forays.
Could the Arctic be the stage for the next big power play? Let's find out what lies beneath the ice and why Russia has set sight on this frozen frontier, revealing a strategic chess game of military might, untapped resources, and global dominance. The Arctic region, which used to be quiet, is now getting a lot of attention. Climate change is melting the ice, revealing valuable stuff, and creating a new sea path. Consequently, the Arctic is no longer the remote and inaccessible frontier it once was. Thus, it has become an arena of strategic interest and intense competition. At the heart of the newfound interest is Russia, which views the Arctic as a region of paramount importance, all to its national security and economic prospects. The melting ice is not just revealing resources but also vulnerabilities. In response to this, Russia has embarked on a systematic military buildup that establishes a new base and deploys troops to fortify its Arctic territories. This militarization is a clear indication of Moscow's intent to assert its domination and protect its interests in the region. Russia's Northern Fleet is a key part of its military presence in the Arctic. It's there to protect its submarines that carry nuclear missiles, claim territory and resources, and keep an eye on NATO, which Russia sees as a potential threat. In 2014, Russia made this fleet even more important by creating a special Arctic command to look after its military bases along the Northern Sea route, a key shipping lane in the Arctic. They also made the Northern Fleet as important as one of their main military districts. But Russia is not alone in this Arctic ambition. The North Organization, recognizing the strategic significance of the Arctic, has ramped up its presence through large-scale exercises. These maneuvers are not merely routine training, they are a signal of NATO's readiness to counterbalance Russia and influence and maintain in the region. Russia has been upgrading the Northern Fleet with better ships, missiles, and defense systems. They're also building new facilities to support these upgrades, including a big group of icebreakers to navigate the icy waters. But even with all these improvements, Russia isn't trying to dominate the seas. Instead, they're focusing on defending their territory and borders. But what does this mean for the Arctic region? While Russia says it's just protecting itself, some of its actions could be seen as aggressive. For example, they've done military drills and flown planes close to the territories of NATO countries, like Denmark and Norway. They've also been a bit pushy with US ships and planes near Alaska. So, how will this affect the future of the Arctic? The region is becoming more important because of its shipping routes and resources. Russia's and NATO's actions will shape not just the Arctic, but also the balance of power in the wider world. The implications of these developments are profound. The Arctic is no longer a barometer of climate change. It is a test of international relations in a warming world. The competition for resources and strategic advantage is intensifying, raising questions about the future of the Arctic and the potential for conflict. As the Arctic ice continues to melt, the stakes only get higher. Will the Arctic remain a zone of peaceful cooperation, or will it become a flashpoint for geopolitical conflict? Most importantly, can this Arctic environment withstand the pressure of military buildup and resource exploitation? The economic significance of the Arctic extends beyond resource extraction. The receding ice is also paving the way for new maritime courses, which promise to significantly shorten the distance between major trading hubs such as Asia and Europe. The strategic importance of the Arctic extends onto its waterways, particularly the Northwest Passage and Northeast Passage. These routes promise a faster path between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, cutting shipping times and costs significantly. However, they also raise contentious issues of sovereignty and international access. Can these passages be considered international waters open to all, or do they fall under the jurisdiction of the bordering nations? This could revolutionize global trade patterns, offering fast delivery times and reducing shipping costs. However, the environmental impact of these developments cannot be overlooked. While melting ice opens up economic opportunities, it also poses significant environmental risks. This fragile Arctic ecosystem is under threat, with wildlife and indigenous communities at risk of displacement and disruption. Moreover, the pursuit of Arctic resources carries the risks of oil spills and other industrial accidents, which could have catastrophic consequences for this sensitive environment. Despite these concerns, the Arctic's economic appeal is strong. The region is poised to become a new frontier for economic growth, attracting investment and attention from some of the world's largest economies. How can we balance the economic development with the environmental protection? Ownership disputes in the Arctic are not just about land. They are about what lies beneath. The seabed that is believed to hold vast reserves of oil and gas, minerals, and other valuable resources. As the ice melts, these treasures become more accessible, and the race to claim them intensifies. But who owns the Arctic? This is a complicated patchwork of international laws and agreements, historical claims, and the strategic maneuvers of the nations involved. Yet, the pursuit of these resources is not without its legal entanglements. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea serves as the overarching framework governing Arctic territories, but the region's complex web of overlapping claims and disputes underscores the need for nuanced diplomatic resolutions. The intricacies of Arctic governance are thus brought into sharp relief as nations navigate the delicate balance between sovereign rights and shared interests. Amidst this geopolitical chessboard, Russia emerges as a formidable player, leading the charge in Arctic development with the clear vision of its future. Moscow's ambitious plans encompass the expansion of shipping routes, the deployment of a formidable fleet of icebreakers, and a robust agenda for resource extraction. These initiatives are not merely economic, they are a statement of intent, signaling Russia's determination to capitalize on the Arctic's opportunities and cement its position as a dominant force in the region. But what does this mean for the Arctic's trajectory? As the landscape evolves, so do the economic prospects and geopolitical challenges it presents. The region is poised to become an increasingly influential player in global affairs, with its development carrying implications for international trade, energy security, and strategic military positioning. Yet, as we marvel at the Arctic's transformation, we must pause to consider the broader implications. How will the delicate balance of power be maintained in this new frontier? Can international agreements adapt to the unique challenges posed by the Arctic's development? And how will the global community respond to Russia's assertive expansion plans? Russia has agreed to follow the United Nations Convention of the Law of the Sea, a set of rules for using the oceans, which the United States hasn't approved. Russia claims a big part of the Arctic ocean floor based on these rules, saying it's connected to their land. They first tried in 2001, but the UN said no because of some details. They tried again in 2015, and now they're waiting for an answer. Meanwhile, they're talking with Canada and Denmark to sort out who gets what because they all want some of the same areas. To work with other countries in the Arctic, Russia uses the Arctic Council. This group includes 8 countries that touch the Arctic, groups representing native peoples and other countries like China that want to be involved. The council started in 1996. Focuses on protecting the environment, doing scientific research, and making sure development is done right. They don't deal with military stuff. Russia led the council for 2 years starting in May 2021 and said they work on reducing pollution, bringing in money, and helping indigenous people. Russia is also a part of the Arctic 5 Forum, which includes just the countries that touch the Arctic Ocean: Canada, Denmark, Norway, Russia, and the US. The members discuss topics like managing fish in the ocean and who owns part of the sea floor. Even though Russia's economy isn't very strong, they're still spending a lot of money on their plans for the Arctic. They're giving tax breaks and other deals to big companies to get them to work in the Arctic, especially in the parts of Siberia that haven't seen much action yet. Some of these deals seem to be for companies that are close to the Russian government. For example, in 2019 they promised $41 billion in tax breaks to the Rosneft, a big oil company, to develop a new oil field. In 2020, Russia launched a huge program worth more than $300 billion, all to develop the Arctic. They want to build towns, power plants, ports, and airports, and they're trying to keep people from leaving the area. They're offering these deals to attract Russian and foreign companies to invest in oil and gas, chemicals, mining, and wood. Will the Arctic's relaxation put global politics on thin ice? As Russia's peer turns northward, the world wonders what moves will come next. What are your views about this? Share your thoughts and views in the comments below, and be sure to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more.